And welcome to Don't Feed the Gondolas. It's been a week in which the Hibernian Insurance Company said that in future it will charge rich people less for their car insurance. However, directors of the Hibernian denied that they are favouring the elite of our society just before they went off to attend the human sacrifice of an 18-year-old virgin in their honour. With Dara O'Brien tonight, a man who last time he was on this programme pulled out a big lump of dope. However, on this occasion we've made sure that Shane from Boyzone isn't hiding in his pockets. It's BP Fallon. And with Brendan O'Connor this evening, tall, blonde, gorgeous, and very, very bitchy.
I'm not that
No,
tall.
it's not Pat Kenny. Known to you as Nicola from Fair City, known at the Dole office as Claudia Carroll. Props in the news is what we called our first round last week, and just for badness, we're going to do that again. Each team gets some props, which refer to one of the week's bigger news stories. They simply have to tell me what those stories are while maintaining their justly earned reputations as mad bastards. Right, so Dara and Bipalapadumuwama.
There's this thing, which is one of these kind of radio recording things, and this, which we all know as being not only an iron, but one of the great comedy props of our time.
Indeed.
As in, no, it doesn't actually work. It doesn't actually work. As in, like, oh, here I am doing the ironing. Oh, is that the phone? Oh, I have burnt my ear. I must be a Kerry man. Ha 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 ha. Right there.
I bet you the last time you burnt your ear, you were listening to the match.
Very good. It's really turning into comedy archives here. The
Hopes, though, took a double blow when a clash of
radios that major international, multinational companies sell to 4-year-olds going, you need to buy more stuff. Go on, look at it, it's bright, give us your first communion
Could
money.
I make a complete left field guess here, actually?
Go crazy, go mad.
I mean, I'm not quite sure how this works, so I might be on the wrong programme. Is it something to do with how...
We'll figure that out as we go along.
Is it something to do with how Today FM listening figures have flattened RTE's ones?
Well...
Ooh. Controversial.
Isn't it?
Controversial from
Uses
Today FM employee BP Fallon.
Yes. Yeah, very, very good. The JNLR figures were out last month. I don't think they quite flatten them as much as gently pecked away at the edge of them.
Iron them. Iron them out.
Iron them, hence iron, clever.
Right,
Reincorporation of
Connie,
iron.
Yes, okay, right.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're not completely out of your mind on drugs.
No,
then. That's a relief, yes. Okay, well, they did get it right. That, of course, refers to the JNLR figures released this week, which showed that the audience for RTE Radio 1 has declined. Surprisingly, RTE claimed it was more than pleased with this result, as they had expected all of the Radio 1 audience to have died of old age by now. Behind the scenes, though, RTE is putting a less happy face on developments. This week, in a bid to attract a younger, funkier audience to Radio 1, broadcasting god Pat Kenny invited all his rock star mates to a lavish party.
There's a lot of guys
Now, the Edge's solicitors have contacted us to point out that he actually walked in there by accident. He mistakenly thought it was a hair restoration clinic.
So the Edge went to a hair restoration clinic going, I want to look like Pat Kenny. So he can appear on stage going, look at the big Pat Kenny head on me, big Alan Partridge sweep over here. Very rock, very rock.
Very rock.
And listen, Pat did his party piece and it didn't even take off from there. Like, I've been to Pat Kenny's parties, naturally, and everybody waits. Oh, Pat will do his party piece now. No way.
So what props do you have?
Oh, right.
Nice magazine there. Combat magazine.
Combat
which
magazine.
obviously you read all the time, Claudia.
Yeah.
And a big welly and a sort of a little briefcase thing.
People in need, the farmers looking for more money from the EU.
No, says the man who knows the answer already in the audience.
We've got Combat magazine here, which claims to be the world's greatest martial arts magazine, beating off stiff competition from the likes of Are You Looking at My Bird Monthly? And the rather inappropriately named What Are You Looking At? Which apparently doesn't sell too well at all. I was thinking, though, that this might be something to do with the flood tribunal, given that that's the only story in the week in the news this week. But then again, the flood tribunal is is certainly not a briefed case. In fact, it's going on for ages and ages, and it's costing a fortune. But I don't know why they're surprised, because, right, let's face it, right, you put an old guy inside in a room and you say to him, listen, you can talk all you want and everybody's going to have to listen to you. Of course he's going to go on for months. Nobody listens to old people. And like every day, James Gogarty comes in and and he says, no, where was I? And they say, you were just about to tell us about giving Ray Burke the money. And he says, yeah, me pension. Wait till I tell you about me pension now. And he's off again for another 3 weeks on his pension. And the thing is, I think they're worried that this is going to give rise to a load of other kind of old people tribunals. There were no fancy restaurants in my day tribunal. And the I didn't fight 2 wars so that young people could go out dancing to rave music tribunal. So apparently what they're going to do to recoup some of the money is they're going to have a telethon, whereby the tribunal will be shown live on television, and you can ring in and you can say, I'll pledge £500 for James Gogarty's shirt, or you can ring up and say, I'll pledge £1,000 if
Gareth Cooney apologises.
Gareth Cooney apologises, or if Justice Flood sings Sweet Caroline, that kind of thing, you know. So I think that's the answer.
Okay, you think that's the answer?
I genuinely do.
You genuinely do. Well, I'm glad he genuinely does, because it is right. This, of course, is all about the drama at this week's flood tribunal when senior counsel Gareth Cooney was banned from the proceedings for claiming that the tribunal wasn't being impartial. He then refused to apologise for his comments, and then said that when he said the tribunal wasn't being impartial, he didn't mean to imply that the tribunal wasn't being impartial, which is complete bollocks. However, when I said that this was complete bollocks, I didn't mean to imply that this was complete bollocks. Of course, ejecting people from government buildings is a delicate business, and because of that, all government staff are specially trained to be firm yet courteous when escorting people from the premises. Here's an example of this from a few years ago, when an RTE camera crew were politely asked to leave the building.
Thank you. And you stick your camera up your... Come on. You're not going to leave them there. I'll tell you nothing. You will leave the premises now. Thank you. This is
the taxpayers' money is paying for it. And you're not doing it all together around. Oh,
thank you very much.
Don't put your hand on me.
I'm sorry, I'm just closing these doors. Thank you.
So, after all that politeness, the scores are that Dara's team got 2 points and Brendan's team got 2 points. Now, before we go on, we must come clean here and admit that Brendan and Claudia have actually worked together before. Long before RTE fame beckoned, Brendan and Claudia both starred in a Swedish porn film called Hot Alpine Nights with the Lonely Shepherdess.
Don't be frightened. We've just come to ask you to play with us. Oh, Mimi, isn't she sweet? Don't you just adore her? I think we should do our test. What do you mean?
Vera, you've been through so much.
That's awful. It's just awful.
He's at a dangerous age, you know, Vera. It's an age when young boys can go to the bathroom.
Right, I see. Right. Oh, we'll only use it at home. Oh, no one else will ever see it. It's just for us, Brendan. All right. And listen, you didn't see the really pornographic piece in that, which was the fact that I had a guy's hand stuck up my ass. You know?
Time now for great moments in Irish history, where we tiptoe through the RTE archives to find pivotal points in our nation's past, as captured by the RTE cameras in between tea breaks. Dara and Beepaloo, how did this shape Irish politics of the future?
It's very like some group getting together in a farmhouse and talking about how they were going to divide out the eggs. The eggs. And when... yes, but when they came to look for the eggs were stolen.
The controversial egg territory there, obviously.
Yeah. This is one of these secret agents that the government trained to talk about. It's like one of these Manchurian candles things. They put mind training, and they said, listen, whenever you hear the word whatever, you will just go bananas about eggs for no particular reason in whatever the context was. I mean, that, for example, was a Louth GAA County Board meeting to select their corner forward. And the words corner forward, up pops the man. Eggs! No one here is talking about eggs. Eggs have to go back on the agenda. Eggs are very important. So that's the way. Then they go into the European Parliament, and every time a French person will say bonjour, P. Flynn automatically goes, oh, right, beef intervention, more beef, we need more beef for us. Like, so it was a secret training plan. Obviously it wasn't. That's nonsense. It's rubbish. Sorry. What were we going to say? Obviously, listen, you gave me a black and white take.
Yes.
The man is clearly insane. He's eggs on the brain.
The man is clearly an existentialist.
Exactly.
Oh, don't slay me with those existentialist gags.
Oh, stop.
Yes, go on, yes.
It's a man who's bananas about eggs. No idea, but it just looks as if he's ready for a fight. I don't know.
That was a very interesting answer, but of course, absolutely incorrect. The fact is that was the breakthrough meeting in 1970 when all the members of Ireland's left-wing parties came together to find a common agenda. The meeting was so successful that the delegates screamed and whooped for joy. They even exchanged the precious gift of furniture.
A meeting of the left. A meeting at the Mansion House last May. The platform had such people as Tomás McGuire, Sinn Féin, Michael Farrell, People's Democracy, John Swift and Conor Cruise O'Brien. The occasion revealed more disunity than unity. Fighting and arguments broke up the meeting as the people there obviously hadn't heeded what Bernadette Devlin had said earlier.
It's great to see them all getting together like that. That's
scrambled
fantastic,
eggs, what?
Scrambled eggs, what? Okay, Brendan and Claudia, for you we have a historic moment in showbiz history.
Was that Haughey?
That was Haughey in the background there.
God. Aged about 20.
He was standing on a box there as well.
That was in the early years when that's how Haughey made his first million. He was a pimp to the stars. And you see here a guy, one of the stars, flying into Ireland and getting off the plane, and Charlie is there with his ladies.
With the paper bag.
Saying, hey, you want some of my ladies? They love you a long time. She my sister. She my sister. She clean. And you see, Charlie was looking pretty unhappy there because you could see your man was kissing the girl, and Charlie was, hey, hands off my bitches, man. You pay the money, you have a good time, okay? It was called the Charlie's Angels Escort Agency. And you notice those girls always say, hey, Charlie, you want a good time? That's where that all comes from. So.
Okay, Claudia, any thoughts?
I would recognise Charlie Haughey by the brown paper bag. I don't know, looking for handouts?
The brown paper bag was put over his sister's head. She my sister. She wear brown paper bag over her head. You pay double.
Okay, I'm afraid you didn't get it right, but I'll give you 1 point for saying that.
She wears Satsuma in her mouth. Okay. Maybe strangle her.
That, in fact, dates from 1967 and was when Sean Dunphy came second in the Eurovision Song Contest. Back in those innocent days, coming second was good enough. However, the
apparently
RTE
it was a good song, but it wasn't a great song.
No, it wasn't. However, the RTE interviewer there got so wrapped up in the celebrations, he got out of his head on crack cocaine. And as a result, only wanted to know one thing. How does it feel?
Sean, congratulations. Look, sum it all up for me. How do you feel? I know. How do you feel?
How's that? How are you? How are you?
Sean, we know you'd make it. Now, tell us all about it. How do you feel out about it? Look at all these people out here. Come on, let's have you. Come on, come on, let's have you. How do you feel?
I mean, you're shouting at me, but I can't talk.
Come on, well, talk away, Sean.
So it's...
sum it all up. How do you feel?
I feel wonderful. I feel wonderful, honestly.
Well, what next? Where do you go from here? Face the camera. Let's have it all now. How do you feel? It's all over.
Honestly, I can't explain how it feels, because it's wonderful. Honestly, God, it really is wonderful.
When it was all over, how did you feel when you were right second?
I cried.
So after all that, it feels like that the scores are that Dara's team got no points and Brendan's team got 1 point. When we return after the break, Claudia Carroll reveals that Fair City is really set in Cork. Back here in 2 minutes. Welcome back OK, quick bit of political news now. This week, the influential magazine, the Church of Ireland Gazette, called on Commissioner Pádraig Flynn to throw in the towel. However, since that call was made, the towel mysteriously went missing and turned up in a Fianna Fáil bank account. Time now for State of the Nation, where we test how much in tune our contestants are with the average European commissioner on the street. This week, we checked for scandal on the supermarket shelves.
Yes, this week, supermarket boss Fergal Quinn was accused of charging hello money to his suppliers. So we've come to Dundalk, where the very latest Super Quinn outlet is nearing completion. And it's great to see healthy young people in Dundalk using their time productively. And as you can see, the theatre scene here in Dundalk competes with anything the West End has to offer. And here's an example of some cutting-edge art you can find on the streets of Dundalk. This piece is called Big Pile of Rocks. And of course, Dundalk is up with all the latest Paris fashions.
Actually, no, in fairness, there's one good thing you can say about Dundalk. No, sorry, there isn't. Sorry about that. Got confused there. So, Beepy Weep, you go first. Your question relates to Ireland's failure to get European money. So, the question we asked was...
Stop biting your nails.
What? Yes, very impolite.
Biting your nails.
Sorry.
So the question we asked was, if prostitution was legalised, would that make it easier for the government to get European money for cute whores like Jackie Healy-Rae? We asked this woman, did she say A, my name is McGlubby and I desperately need psychiatric care? Or B, ha 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 ha. No. Or C, Jackie Healy-Rae, cute whores, European money. Sounds like my kind of party. Let's stop off and pick up some condoms and cocaine.
Who's Jackie Healy-Rae?
Who's Jackie Healy-Rae? He's a TD in the government here in Ireland, which is a small island off the Western Europe.
You notice he didn't ask what are prostitutes and what are cute whores.
Yeah.
Cute whores are the younger ones.
And that one you saw there.
A, B or C, is it?
Yeah, that's basically it, A, B or C.
B is about as high as I can get, really.
B is about as high as you can get. Ha 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 ha. That's pretty high, I'd say, for BP. Okay, let's look at the VT and find out.
If prostitution was legalised in this country, do you think it would make it easier for the government to get European money for cute whores like Jackie Healy-Rae?
No.
There you go, well done. 2 points for BP. Dara, you go next. You get the results of all the opinion polls that were in the papers this week, and despite a fall in support for Fianna Fáil, Bertie's personal rating is still quite high. So the question we asked was, this week the papers are saying that Bertie Ahern is the non-stick Taoiseach. Isn't that unusual, seeing everyone else in Fianna Fáil is so greasy? We asked this man, did he say A, greasy, wheezy, lemon squeezy? B, it's all a load of bollocks? Or C, Bertie Ahern, Bertie a harse, more like?
I mean, they are chucking as much stuff as possible at Bertie at the moment because he is the most popular Taoiseach apparently in history when it comes to the approval ratings. And actually, Fine Gael are being very smart about how they're manipulating the media because they'll chuck in little things that Bertie has to deny. And they're completely true. Like, I mean, John Bruton was on the radio today and said, well, Taoiseach, how are you today? And he went, Bertie Ahern? Gay? I never said that. No one said that. That's a disgraceful thing to say. And then your man said, no, Taoiseach, I meant to ask you about your question on the Louth County Board scandal. And he went, what? Bertie Ahern runs a brothel full of lesbian nuns? How dare you say that, like? Let's hear the man deny it, because I know it's not true. So it's very subtle and clever, but mud. As for that, I'd say B.
You'd say B, it's all a load of bollocks. Let's have a look at the VT and find out.
Excuse me, sir. Can I ask you a quick question, please? It's just that the papers this week are saying that Bertie Ahern is the non-stick Taoiseach. Do you think that's unusual, given that the rest of Fianna Fáil are so greasy?
A load of bollocks.
There you go. Incisive political comment there. Claudia, you get the Fergal Quinn question. This week it was claimed that Fergal Quinn was demanding money to say hello. Does that mean you can get a refund if you tell him to shag off? We asked this man, did he say A, shag off? Oh, you're a dirty, dirty boy using language like that. I'd say you could do with a good hard spanking on your tight, red, spotty little buttocks. B, you're in the wrong job. You should be a comedian. Or C, I told Fergal Quinn to shag off only last week, and I met Brian Dobson in the car park there and told him to blow it out his arse.
Given that it's Dundalk, I would go for B, because I do think you're in the wrong job, Sean.
Thanks very much.
And I do think you should be a comedian.
Okay, let's have a look at the VT and find out.
Excuse me, sir. Could I ask you a quick question, please? Just take a second of your time. It was alleged in the newspapers this week that Fergal Quinn was looking for money to say hello. If that's true, does it also mean that if you tell him to shag off, you can get a refund?
You're funny, Andrew. You're at the wrong job. You should be a comedian.
Finally, Sean, you troll the country and phone the one man who thinks that you're funny.
Yes.
We'll put you on television
every week now.
Oh, yeah, it's bloody right you are, yeah. So, Brendan, your question is this. This week in Dublin magazine claimed that Gay Byrne introduced Ireland to homosexuality. Will this mean that his fans now won't know which way to turn? We asked this man, did he say, A, it's a cuckoo world, am I right? B, Gay Byrne is a big puff. I knew I was right. The country's gone completely to hell. Back to my time machine. Or C, gay burns. Well, they can easily be avoided through common sense and the use of lubricants. Little grin of recognition there on Claudia's face, I think.
I feel so stupid because I didn't actually know Gay Byrne was homosexual at all.
Well, that's
I kind of had seen the signs, you know, the easy rapport with women at the Housewife of the Year and the jumpers on the toy show and the championing of furniture restoration and all that. But
yeah.
I suppose the wife kind of so-called put me off the trail. But and having said all that, I would say A.
You'd say A, it's a cuckoo world, am I right? Now, Brendan did get it right, and the key phrase actually to look out for here is, am I right? Let's have a look at the VT.
Excuse me, sir. Could I ask you a quick question, please? It was claimed this week in a Dublin magazine that Gay Byrne introduced Ireland to homosexuality. If that's true, do you think his fans won't know which way to turn?
The world's gone crazy. You're living in a crazy world, a cuckoo world today, am I right?
You're right.
Nothing shocks me what I hear today, am I right? They do anything for money. They sell their soul today for money, am I right?
Thanks very much, sir.
He broke one time. He's a multi-millionaire. Am I right? He'll never be broke. If they go and give more to charity, to do better. It's the wee things in life that count, not dying a millionaire. Yeah. When you look at those young children there with no sanitation, how can the whole lot of millions of people? Am I right, ma'am?
You're right, I agree with you.
I think he's right.
So hopefully I'll be right when I say the scores are that Dara's team got 4 points and Brendan's team got 4 points. There's just enough time left in our big box of time for our final round, 60 seconds of facts. Each team gets asked a minute's worth of questions about the week's events. They get a point for the right answer, or 2 if they get a laugh out of the studio audience. Am I right? All right, so. Dara and Beepy-Loopy-Doo, your 60 seconds of facts starts now. A third of Irish men admitted to having problems in the bedroom. What are they blaming their sexual problems on?
Brian Cowan's face. Just popping into their head at the wrong moment.
Poor fitness is the actual answer. Entertainers including Picture House, Bagatelle, Ronnie Drew and Philomena Begley were forced to evacuate what next last week?
A dodgy curry.
Hotel is the actual answer. Last week Dave Fanning admitted he introduced Oprah Winfrey to who?
To little Dave.
Pierce Brosnan is the actual answer. Stop. For St. Patrick's Day, Ireland is to get Europe's biggest ever what?
Little Dave.
Fireworks display is the actual answer. I'll give you 1 point for that. Then a new survey has shown that Larry Gogan is the most popular what in Ireland?
Disc jockey.
Muslim. Not widely known, but
3 points for that.
Quiet.
Tough guy actor Jean-Claude Van Damme blew his top when his ex-wife married a what?
A man called Susie.
A billionaire is the actual answer. Detectives guarding flood tribunal witness James Gogarty said a serious health hazard was being caused by what?
Anyone listening to James Gogarty?
The lack of toilet facilities is the actual answer. Brendan and Claudia, your 60 seconds of facts starts now. Drivers were warned that they run a much greater risk of serious car accidents if they use what in the car?
The barbecue.
Mobile phone is the actual answer. The drink absinthe is on sale in Dublin at the moment. It can allegedly cause what?
Blindness.
It can make the heart grow fonder.
It's 3
still
points for
can't
that.
think of
You
a
got it
slogan
right.
for it, though.
Items discovered in Temple Bar indicate that the British were the first to do what in Dublin?
To lose items.
Settle is the actual answer. Local authorities around the country are employing private detectives to track down what?
Sexy ladies. No, sexy ladies.
Sexy ladies. A literal out is the actual answer. Monica Lewinsky said in a recent interview that she still had warm feelings about who?
Bosco.
Chelsea Clinton.
Bill Clinton.
Sexy ladies.
1 point for being close. On St. Patrick's Day, Brian Cowan is going to be visiting where?
Ireland.
Paris is the actual answer. Column C.T. Wilkinson says that his Dublin performance of Les Mis might well be his what?
Might well be his worst yet.
His last is the actual answer. Go on. So after all that pleasantness, the final scores are that Dara's team got 13 points and Brendan's team got 15 points, and they're tonight's winners. Controversial decision there, I'm afraid. So ends another missed opportunity to say Marty Whelan shagged my sister. Thanks to Dara's guest, BP Fallon. And with Brendan, Claudia Carroll. But as we go, there was roaring and shouting in the United States this week when the governor of Minnesota, a former wrestler by the name of Jesse Ventura, went on the David Letterman show and claimed that the city of St. Paul was laid out by a gang of drunken Irishmen. Earlier on, I rang the David Letterman show to let them know that perhaps he had a point. Thanks for helping us feed the gondolas. Good night.
Good afternoon, CBS.
Hello, I'm looking to speak to somebody from the David Letterman program.
Hold on. The Late Show.
Hello, is that the David Letterman program?
Yes.
My name is Monica Looley, and I'm ringing you from a little village in the west of Ireland called Ahascraw.
Okay, hold on 1 second.
Oh, thank you.
Hi, thanks for holding.
That's okay. No, I was just ringing up because people have been given out about Governor Ventura saying those things about the paving stones.
Right.
But we, you see, in Ahascraw, we all agree with him. We think he's right.
Okay.
Because the little village that we live in, you see, the paving stones were put there in the 1950s, you see.
Hold on 1 second.
Okay.
Hi, thanks for holding.
That's all. You sound like you're very busy there altogether. No, I'll try not to hold you up.
But you wanted to just make a comment about it?
Yes. It's just, you see, now back, our paving stones were laid in the 1950s. Now, in Ireland in the 1950s, everybody was drunk, basically. It was a dark sort of a time.
Hold on 1 more second.
Oh, all right, sorry.
Hi.
Now, everybody was drunk, you see, as I was saying, and they left holes in our pavement, in the paving stones, and nobody ever came out to fix them. And people used to be falling down these holes and were never seen again, sort of thing, you know.
Okay.
And it was a shock and scourge to the village, you know, for a long time. Until now, it happened to a few people that fell down now, and they got a lot of compensation money out of it. Now, my husband got a pub out of it, now, to be honest with you. He hasn't done a stroke of work since. And actually, then it was a good thing for the village. It was a bit of a boom time. Now, the council came out eventually. They didn't fix the holes. They put up a little map telling you where the holes were. Now, actually, what we do now every year is we take them down and we have a little festival for the tourists. It's the Holes Festival, we call it, and people jump around from hole to hole, you know. So I know a lot of people thought probably it was a bad thing about the paving stones. But maybe you could pass this on to Mr. Letterman and to Governor Ventura as well, that down here in Ahascraw, it's actually been a good thing having the terrible paving stones, you know. It's brought a lot of money into the village.
Sure. Okay.
And could you pass that on to Mr. Letterman? Do you think they might be interested in that?
Well, I'll let him know.
Okay, well, thanks very much. You've been very sweet, and I know you're very busy over there. All right, so.
Thanks.
Bye-bye now. Slán a bhaile.